Hi, and welcome to the Boat Princess podcast. My name is Nicky Vaux, and I'm your host. I am a boat owner, a marina owner, a director on the Marina Industries Association, and a huge advocate for boating. In this series, I'm sharing the stories from every nook of the boating industry with the intention of encouraging more women to join me and for more women to get behind the helm too. I want to share the experience and opportunities of boating, of the boating industry, and I want you to join me as I bring the conversations and answer all the questions you've had. Boating is not just for the glamorous and rich and famous. It's full of beautiful and interesting people making the most of our natural environment and getting out there, enjoying the waterways. So let's let off the lines, take over the helm, and escape to the world of boating. Welcome, listeners, to another Boat Princess podcast. It's great to have you here, and we're going to do the format a little bit differently today because my interview with Alanta was cut a little short given that she was rather busy on the stand at Princess at Sanctuary Cove Boat Show. So let's talk about why I'm called the Boat Princess. Well, one, it's easy for you to remember. Two, I am a boat owner and it is a princess. Three, I am the princess of my family. I'm lucky enough to have two big, healthy young men that are my boys and a fabulous husband who is incredibly supportive of everything that I do, and they do treat me like a princess, which is rather lovely. I do know a lot about boats, but there is so much to learn as well. I've got so many fascinating people to interview in this podcast series that will teach us all everything we would like to know and more. It's very exciting because there are so many different boat brands to talk about. There are so many different aspects of having a boat, of the lifestyle, of the maintenance, of all the things that we would love to know about boating. And I continuously learn every time I talk to someone. And I'm hoping that you'll learn too, but I'm also very keen to get those that aren't into boating to feel far more comfortable about coming into our space by putting things into layman terms. I mean, what is galley aft? Well, to a normal person, that's a kitchen at the back of the boat. So what we're doing is teaching you and allowing you to explore with us and enjoy it in the privacy of your car, on your headphones, on a quiet day at home, so that you can feel more comfortable when you approach the broker to buy your first boat, which is always my intention. If you don't own a boat, I'd like you to own a boat. I also intend to give you an objective view of the different brands that are available in boats and the different lifestyles of boating you can enjoy, so that when you do start looking for that boat, you have some idea of what type of boat you're going to need for the uses you're looking for the lifestyle you're looking for the location that you live in. These are all important factors to take into account when you're looking for a boat. Later in this podcast, I'll be chatting to Alanta from Princess Yachts. Now, because of that, let's explore Princess a little bit. I'm not going to go into the full detail today because, well, they have a lot of detail and they have a lot of experts that we'll be able to talk to about that fantastic particular brand in the future. But let's just have a little dive into them. Princess Yachts started in 1965 in England. David King and two friends fitted out their first boat in an old fertiliser store in Plymouth, England. They're still in Plymouth, England, but my goodness, their site is absolutely fantastic. I've been lucky enough to be there myself and get the full tour as a Princess owner, and believe me, it is incredible. Anyway, back to the history. They named their first boat Project 31. It was originally destined for charter. The first Project 31 was actually purchased by a keen boater, and two more were built shortly afterwards. That was the beginning of what today is one of the world's leading shipyards. In fact, they produced 130 Project One yachts between 1966 and 1969, and now, over 17,000 boats later, like I said, their site is incredible. Now today, Princess shipyards cover an area over 1.1 million square feet in Plymouth. Plymouth is a really amazing area that's rich in British maritime heritage. In fact, the South Yard, where the M-class super yachts are constructed, is a former naval yard dating back to the 17th century. It's a fascinating yard to visit, and as I understand it is actually UK's largest furniture manufacturer, because they literally build everything for their yachts on site. It's quite incredible. So after we've had a chat with Atlanta, we'll come back and we'll chat a little more about this beautiful brand. Hi everyone, this is the Boat Princess coming to you live from Sanctuary Cove Boat Show, and I'm here with the lovely Atlanta, who is the events and marketing manager for Princess Yachts Australia. And I wanted to catch up with her because she is a perfect example of someone that's come into the boating industry in a slightly different way, and I want to understand that pathway that she had to give some women out there an idea of other ways they can come into this industry. So Atlanta, how did you get into this role?
Thanks for having me, Nikki. Appreciate it. So this is my first time in the boating industry. Previously, I've worked in the aviation industry, the event management industry, marketing as well internationally, as well as domestically. I've spent the last 4 years in Bali, actually. And prior to that, I worked and lived on Hamilton Island and Hayman Island, 2 locations which Princess Yachts basically takes their owners to once a year on a rendezvous motoring through the Whitsundays on a convoy. And I think there was great synergy sort of, with my background with that. Yeah,
because you've basically been in that luxury space and that space of people enjoying a certain lifestyle, right?
That's right, yeah. So I worked for Crown Casino for 5 years, looking after some of the high rollers in the mahogany room there. And I also ran events at Luna Park for 5 years as well. Quite sort of large events like this, like the boat show, I guess, capacity of 3,000 festival style type events and exhibitions and those sort of things.
Do you sense a difference in organising events for boaters as opposed to other events that you've done in the past? Is there any differences you've seen?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good-looking crowd down here, don't you think? I think it draws in. Some really interesting people with some really interesting backgrounds and careers as well, and businesses. So I'm loving the vibe here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think boaters they know how to have a good time, and they look good too. They take care of their boats and they take care of themselves. It's a synergy that works, So, but there is a bit too much champagne involved sometimes, but it's all good. But going back to those events that Princess hold for their owners, can you explain a little bit about those for us?
Yeah, so the emphasis is to really look after our Princess owners. And just sort of, give back. And it's great community as well. So all the Princess owners can kind of get together, enjoy each other's company, talk boats and, everything about the industry and boating and that sort of thing. And so, it's really about, all the perks that come with being a Princess owner, I suppose. Yeah.
I have been lucky enough to experience those perks at this boat show as a Princess owner, and I have to tell you, you've looked after your guests very, very well. We've had some amazing oysters, champagne, sashimi. We've had a really good time at this boat show. That's been delightful, thanks to you guys. And you essentially have some great event management skills, I'm guessing. Can you give us an idea of those skill sets you think a woman going into this space needs?
Yeah, I think you need to be highly organised. And, we had quite a bit of lead time in preparation for this boat show. So I think that everything was really well organised in advance. Of course, you always, as an event manager, you're a problem solver. So there's always, things that crop up that you need to address and solve. But I think everything's run really smoothly so far. And I think everyone's had a really lovely time and felt really looked after. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it's been some wonderful moments of sitting in this space and people walking past looking in as if to say, now, how do I get in there? Because it's a beautiful
Very
space
true.
You've created here today. So it's great that Princess have employed a marketing specialist like yourself, Alanta. Can you tell me about some marketing initiatives you've put together that are a little bit different for the boating industry?
We've launched a new, promotional series that's called The Voyage. And we've run 6 episodes of that so far. And it's less about videos, I guess, about the, the engine room of the boat or the, different aspects of the boat and more about the lifestyle. So we sort of focus on the boating lifestyle, which really appeals to more women as well. Yeah.
I think one of the wonderful aspects of boating lifestyle for women, I don't know if you feel the same, but I know when I'm out on my boat, I have that sense of I'm kind of stuck on my boat. So I can't do the washing and I can't do the work because I'm often out of range as well. So I think boating takes you to a space where you allow yourself to actually relax and enjoy some complete and utter rest time. And then we link it all back to the whole blue mind theory with the psychological effect of being in, on and around the water. And I think boating is a very special lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be at Princess level. I think we have to everybody that's owned a Princess has invariably started from a small boat and they've grown and grown and grown with their boating lifestyle to get to their Princess lifestyle. And
absolutely,
it's a great brand name for that, isn't it? Right, getting to the Princess level.
Yeah. Love the R&R on the Princess, yes.
Absolutely. So, Alanta, I understand what your title is, but I'd really like to understand a little bit about exactly the detail of what you do for Princess.
Yeah, so it's a varied role. I completed a Bachelor of Communication Design, and so I jump in and do a bit of graphic design for Princess in terms of brochures and, for the events, all the signage and menus and whatnot, just keeping in line with, the Princess branding guidelines and that sort of thing. As well as that, we run 3 main events throughout the year. So there's the boat show here at Sanctuary Cove. We also have a little stand at the boat show in Sydney. And then our Hayman Island rendezvous, where we take a convoy of 12 Princess yachts through the Whitsundays and spend 4 days on Hayman Island with 5-star catering, champagne, seafood lunches on Whitehaven Beach, and lots of it's a family-friendly event as well. So we organise pizza making and different stuff for the kids as well, so they're entertained. And then towards the end of the year, we put on a nice Christmas party for our owners as well.
How wonderful. And I love the fact that you incorporate the children into those events. That's really nice, because I think boating is very much a fabulous family activity, especially these days, getting the kids away from the screens and to actually have activities organised for them at those events is really thoughtful. That's very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. The kids sometimes stay at home and they'll just order room service, and then mum and dad will come out for dinner and drinks or cocktail event. But yeah, there's lots of daytime events where the kids are involved. And yeah, Hayman Island has an amazing program where the kids do so many different activities. I think they can make pizzas, or they can, go snorkeling, or, go on a hike. But yeah, there's lots to do.
So give me a day in the life of Alanta at Princess Yachts. She just did a cute little grin then. Did you see that? When we see you here at the events, it's very glamorous, it's very stylish, but we all know a lot of work goes into putting together something like this, and yet your normal day is probably not as exciting and glamorous as that. Can you give us a true idea of a day for you working on events?
Yeah, sure. So, I might be working with Photoshop or InDesign, designing, collateral, something that the guys might need last minute, some brochures, even putting together some content for social media. So, Facebook, Instagram tiles. And, even more recently, leading up to the event, we were working with Kick Marketing, which basically was helping with digital marketing. So just running, Facebook ads and Instagram ads and that sort of thing to promote the boat show. And also, setting up, event registrations through Eventbrite for our cocktail party that we held last night. And of course, the owner's registration here and pre-boarding down on the pontoon. So, yeah, things like that. And then, obviously liaising with our owners. A lot of them are quite interested in merchandise. So, we custom design, I suppose, princess merchandise, which includes polo shirts, T-shirts, hats, key rings, stubby holders, you name it. So, yeah, there's interest in that. And then, just designing sort of invitations and putting together the packages and that sort of thing for our upcoming Hayman Island event.
So lots of administration, lots of organisation, lots of being very organised and keeping track of everything. And is there any particular tech tools you use to help you with that?
Yeah, so we've sort of moved away from print advertising and moved more into the digital space. So in saying that, we've been, generating leads through Facebook ad copy, as well as working with AutoGate, so, boatsales.com, and running ads through their platform as well, which seems to, be generating quite a lot of interest. Yeah.
You spoke about going up to Hamilton, doing 4-day events and all that sort of thing. I know as women we do the juggle consistently. How logistically is that a juggle for you?
To be honest, living in Bali, I was traveling a lot. And so, I'd take little trips over to Singapore. I would take trips, back to Australia. Traveling a lot, living out of a suitcase for the last 4 years. So, coming back into the routine of the 9 to 5 and working full time and that sort of thing is an adjustment for me, because, I was used to working from my laptop in a villa in Bali for the last 4 years. Thing. So it's usually in my bikini. But yeah, so now,
She'd look good in a bikini, just so everybody knows.
So back to, working full time in the office. And it's lovely to get out of the office and go on a break and up to Hamilton, Hayman Island, the Whitsundays, which I also lived for a year. So, love that corner of the globe.
So for you, in actual fact, this job gives you those elements of the lifestyle that you enjoy, those events in that environment of being by the water and being on the boats is actually a lifestyle that you really enjoy. So did you seek out a job in this industry because of that?
I applied for a number of jobs when I returned to Australia from Bali, and in fact, a recruiter contacted me and had found my profile on Seek. helm.com and just said that she thinks that I'd be perfect for the role. And so, yeah, I guess I was kind of headhunted for the role. And then I sat in with an interview with the recruitment company, and then sat in with an interview with Greg and Scott. And yeah, they thought it was good synergy and a good fit. So here I am.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alanta. It's been great talking to you. We really appreciate your time today. We wish you every success with Princess. It's a great brand, it's a great industry, and it's great to have you in it.
Thank you, Nikki.
So we spoke in one moment in that interview with Alanta about merchandising. And I know Princess produced some beautiful quality items for their clients to enjoy. And I have a hunch the company they use is the one that I am actually an ambassador for, and that's Quality Marine Clothing. Quality Marine Clothing do super yacht uniforms and amazing merchandised items for their clients. And they also have a retail division, which is Ross and Whitcroft. So I would suggest you follow me on Instagram at The Boat Princess, because I'll be doing some giveaways in conjunction with Quality Marine Clothing, and I'm looking forward to sharing those with you in the near future. So as promised, a little bit more about Princess Yachts. For those of you that don't know the brand at all, they are a motor yacht specific manufacturer. They don't build sailing yachts, and they build boats ranging from 45 feet right up to 35 meters. I know it's a bit confusing when we change from feet to meters when we go to bigger boats, but that's what we do. So super yachts are always referred to in meters. So let's talk about Princess Yachts in a little more detail. They have great hulls, which are a little bit different to some of the other manufacturers available out there, in that they are a very deep V. There's two really good advantages to that. One is they're incredibly good in blue water, so that's a really stable and capable ride out in the ocean. And they also have a huge amount of volume of space within the vessel as well because of that shape. They also use a resin-infused composite to build their hulls, and they create their hulls using those with a vacuum. So they suck the air out of that composites when they create the hull, which means they create not only a really lightweight hull, but a very, very strong hull as well. And there's no room for osmosis to occur in that hull either, because there's no air there. So a really, really good system, a very strong system, and they've been doing that for very many years. And some brands out there are saying, oh wow, we've suddenly discovered this technology. Well, Princess have been doing it forever. So that's one real advantage to their build, that shape of that hull and the structure of that hull. Another thing I think Princess did very cleverly was in 2016, they took on Anthony Sheriff. Now, Anthony Sheriff was the former CEO of McLaren Automotive. Now, we all know, we have to admit this, boating industry, the car industry is so far ahead of us, it's not funny. So to bring somebody from the car industry into the boating industry, I think was an absolute magnificent idea. He certainly has brought some incredible innovations to the company. And take a look at their R35, for example. It's like the McLaren of boats. It's actually a foiling boat, is the fastest Princess ever made. It goes up to 50 knots, and it is a real eye catcher. If you ever see one on the water, it's just beautiful. So Princess build boats right from 45 feet up to 35 meters, and they have different classes within those sizes. Their V class, for example, is their sedan boats. So that's their boats without a flybridge, fast, sporty sunroof, going from 40 feet to 78 feet. Their S class is their sports motor yachts, really sleek, stylish, open flybridge, tender garage. aft sunbeds, the really funky, sporty, get out there ones that go up to 39 knots. Then they've got their Y-class yachts. Now, these are beautifully finished custom creations with hard top fly bridges, really stylish lines. They've got their F class, which is their flybridge class. So that's open flybridge or hard top flybridge if you want one. They range from 45 feet up to 70 feet. They've got their R35 that I mentioned earlier. There's only the one of those in that class. And then they've got their X class, which is X class in a lot of brands is the term they use for explorer yachts. So these are yachts that are designed for traveling much further distances, having much further range, and almost being like a liveaboard, that you're actually basically living and traveling the world on an explorer yacht. And they are becoming more and more fashionable out there. A lot of people are buying explorers now, and it's great to see. They have special bows designed that cut through the water in a different way so that you get more economy out of your fuel and more range again. And then the top of their range is their M class, which is the epitome of Princess. That's their pilot house yachts, and they come in 30 metres and 35 metres. So in terms of you as a buyer for Princess is a luxury brand. It's they're not designed for fishing. They're designed for having fun with family, spending time on your boat, relaxing. They're for people that want to explore the world with a big boat. They are for people to just enjoy the lifestyle of boating. They don't have bait tanks. They don't have rod holders. That's just not their thing. So if you're a fisherman that's looking to go fishing, this is really not the brand for you. But they are just stunning. They're just beautiful. And obviously I'm a big fan because I have one. But I think Australia needs to understand a little bit more about Princess. And as I said, in another podcast, we will go into a lot more detail about this brand, because they really do need to be explored, because they've got so many great technologies, so many great new ideas, and so many great systems they use. That R35 with the falling, for example, they have a new system on their Y class, which actually uses active ride control to work out what the boat's doing and make the ride even more comfortable, and improving its efficiency continuously using computers. So that's incredible stuff too. So one day we'll share a little bit more detail on Princess, but hopefully today I've been able to give you a little insight into this beautiful brand. When I spoke to Alanta at Sanctuary Cove Boat Show, she hadn't been with Princess for that long. So I thought before we issue this podcast, we might give her a call and have a chat with her, not only because she's just won a Marketing Innovation Award from Princess Yachts, which she was up against 47 other dealers around the world for, but also because she's got some great initiatives I wanted to share with you as well they've been working on.
Hi, Nikki. Yes, we're invested in a number of projects, currently redesigning the Princess Yachts Australia website, showcasing our brokerage and our new yachts, as well as a membership club where we offer events, discounts and perks for our Princess Yacht owners, as well as continuing our affiliation with a number of sponsors, including Bentley, who we collaborate with for drive days. So it's been a great achievement for Princess Yachts to win the award for marketing innovation against all other dealerships worldwide. We welcome our new host, Kimberly Simpson, to the voyage with lots of new content to be released over the next few months.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Boat Princess podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like to know more about what I do and where I am, then you can follow me on Instagram at The Boat Princess. You can also sign up to my newsletter on my website, which is theboatprincess.com. And in doing so, you'll actually receive a code so that you can instantly enjoy complimentary from Ocean Magazine, their digital subscription until January 2022. That magazine is absolutely fantastic, beautifully put together, so much information about new boat models coming out, luxury lifestyle items, and what's going around all over the world in the boating industry. So just go to my site at www.theboatprincess.com, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll receive that gift from myself and Ocean Magazine. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you on the water soon.